Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we will discuss about the discovery and properties of the positive rays or protons. Students, in the previous lecture you have thoroughly discussed the discovery and properties of cathode rays as well as the charge to mass ratio, the charge and the mass of the cathode rays. Students, now we have another subatomic particle which is a positive particle or proton, and we will discuss about the study about the discovery and the properties of the positive rays or protons. Dear students, after the discovery of the cathode rays by J.J. Thomson, E. Goldstein in 1886, Goldstein in 1886 performed the gas discharge tube experiment with some modifications. Students, he used the same discharge tube used in the discovery of cathode rays but with a little modification. Students, Goldstein set this instrument, so it is the construction of this instrument. He devised the gas discharge tube experiment in which he used a gas discharge tube composed of some fluorescent material. It is glass or gas discharge tube. The gas discharge tube is fitted with two electrodes, two metallic rods, one acting as anode and other acting as cathode. He used the cathode with some holes or perforation, so we can say that it is perforated cathode. He used this modification in the discovery of electrons or cathode rays. A discharge tube was used with solid electrodes, with compact electrodes, but he used a modified perforated cathode to discover the protons or positive rays. The discharge tube was filled with the gas or vapors of any substance connected externally to the battery, to the source of voltage. The cathode or negative terminal of the discharge tube was connected to the negative terminal of the battery, and positive terminal of the discharge tube was connected to the positive terminal of the battery. The discharge tube was also connected to the vacuum pump or vacuum section. He also used the vacuum pump for the purpose of pressure control. Students, after devising this instrument, he performed the experiment, which is the working of this instrument, working of discharge tube devised or designed by E. Goldstein. Students, he reduced the pressure and applied higher voltage, just like being done by J.J. Thomson in the discovery of cathode rays, and he observed the production of cathode rays. When some rays were emitted from the surface of cathode, they traveled in a straight line towards anode and produced a glow opposite to the surface of cathode towards the side of anode. Meanwhile, he also observed a glow perpendicular to the direction of anode towards the side of cathode. These glows were produced and were traveled through these perforations. That's why he used the term that there are some rays which travel in a straight line and pass through these canals or holes. That's why at that time he known these rays as canal rays. He observed the production of canal rays and he said that he observed that the canal rays were produced by the passage of cathode rays from the gas. He said that when cathode rays passed through the gas, they ionized the gas, as we have read in the properties of cathode rays that cathode rays are capable of ionizing a gas. So when cathode rays passed through the discharge tube, gas inside the discharge tube, they ionized the gas. For example, if we have a gas, just like we have a gas helium. So when cathode rays passed through the helium gas, they knocked out the electrons and converted the helium into He+2 with the emission of 2 electrons. These electrons along with the cathode rays moved or traveled towards anode and produced this glow. But meanwhile, this glow was also observed and he concluded that this glow was produced by these positive particles which passed through the holes or perforations or canals of these perforated electrodes. So he named them as the canal rays because they pass through the canals or holes of the cathode. He named them as canal rays. Later on, Rutherford named these positive rays, positive or canal rays, as protons by Rutherford. Canal rays or positive rays were named by Goldstein as they carry positive charge and travel through the holes. That's why he named them as canal rays or positive rays. Later on, Rutherford named these positive rays as protons. Students, now we have the properties of positive rays or canal rays or protons. Students, by applying both the electric and magnetic field, he observed that they are deflected towards the negative terminal of the battery, means they carry negative charge. In the magnetic field, they were deflected towards upper end, means they carry positive charge. And by applying both the fields simultaneously, he observed that they did not show any deflection. So he concluded that after the deflection in electric and magnetic field, they show a character of behaving as positive particles. So he named these particles as positive rays and concluded that they carry positive charge. It means positive rays have the property of deflection by both electric as well as magnetic field. Students, he observed the glow in a straight line, so he said that positive rays are rays. They carry positive charge. They travel in a straight line. Straight line movement or straight line trajectory means these are rays. They carry mass as well, so they are also material particles. They are rays as well as particles. They can produce ionization. They can produce fluorescence on striking the wall of the discharge tube or any fluorescent material like zinc sulfide. plates, alumina or tin stone. The glowing material when placed in their path, they will produce fluorescence. Similarly, the charge to mass ratio, their E by M value depends upon, their E by M values depend upon the gas and varies with mass. As we have read that the canal waves were produced due to the ionization of the gas placed inside a gas discharge tube. So we can say that their charge to mass ratio will depend upon the gas used inside a discharge tube. Heavier the gas, smaller will be the charge to mass ratio. Lighter the gas, greater will be the charge to mass ratio. And we can say that the mass of an hydrogen atom or mass of a proton or positive rays is greater than that of mass of electron. Mass of positive rays is greater than that of mass of electron. So charge to mass ratio of proton will be lesser than charge to mass ratio of electron. Charge to mass ratio of proton will be lesser than charge to mass ratio of electron, because greater the mass, smaller will be the charge to mass ratio. And amongst all the positive particles, hydrogen is the smallest one. So charge to mass ratio for all the positive particles will be greater in case of hydrogen. All other positive particles will have the smaller charge to mass ratio than the proton or hydrogen atom. So we can say that they can produce fluorescence, they carry positive charge, they travel in a straight line, they behave both as rays and particles, and their charge to mass ratio is dependent upon the nature of the gas. So with the change in gas, charge to mass ratio will also change, and their charge to mass ratio is smaller than the electrons, but hydrogen has the highest charge to mass ratio among all the positive particles. So students, this is the discovery and properties of positive rays or protons. Hopefully you have got the concept. For any query you can ask question. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.